Hello, and welcome to the Secret Sunday Show. Hello, everyone. I'm back in my studio in Cincinnati after my week in New York. It was a lot of work to record my audiobook last week. That's what I was doing, if you didn't tune in last week. But I did such a good job, you guys. There were a couple moments where, and first let me say this. My book is a funny book. There are moments of like really heartfelt tenderness, or even maybe a little bit of like, heartbreaky stuff. And honestly, that's my favorite kind of entertainment in art. That's like funny, but it's so like real, and there's a little bit of tragedy in there that you might be kind of like laugh, cry back and forth. That's what my book is. I'm going to say more about that in a second. But there were a couple moments where I got a little choked up while reading, and then I came out into the control room, and the producer and the engineer were a little choked up and crying. It went well. It was a lot of work, but I'm really, really excited about the audiobook, and I know a lot of you guys are as well. So it went great, and I'm done. Let me say one more word about the Kevin being funny thing. Because I've noticed, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've made a little bit of noise about wanting to move on from like old school social media and explore what else is new. And, if you're following along, my studio space here has kind of a mission with community and slowing down and unplugging a little bit. I think I've noticed with some of the response that I've maybe given people the impression that, Kevin's not going to do funny stuff anymore. You guys, funny is my main thing. I love making people laugh, and whatever it is I'm doing with the stories and the stuff, I love like the relatable, funny, feel-good thing. I'm not walking away from that part. It's just the like 4 years ago social media, like super fast, scroll kind of comedy. That's the part I'm ready for what's next. Not now Kevin only does serious things. He's a serious author now. Like, please no, that is not what I think I've given some of you that impression. Like, well, time to move on from Kevin. He's only being serious now. I'm rarely serious. That's not true. Half and half. But, I've been thinking so much about, and I'm sort of starting to articulate this idea about, I think that we're all getting very weary of social media and scrolling, and it's starting to feel very empty, and you've maybe seen me make some posts about that. I am sort of, I guess, developing a little bit of a manifesto around my studio and what is this new idea I'm trying to convey, and I've gotten a step closer with this little piece right here. When we're talking about AI and social media, it gets very kind of heavy and guilty feeling, because it's all like, don't use it, don't use this app, don't, stop, don't. It's like this, like, it's coming from this place of don't you dare, And that doesn't quite ring, I get it, but that doesn't quite ring right for me. I'm more interested in like, okay, we all know what we're gonna not do, but what are we going to do? I feel like it's way cooler and better to come from a place of like active joy and things we're excited about. Like, okay, we're not gonna do that, but what are we going to do? Like, what are the things for me that I'm like excited about holding on to when we're talking about people and AI and computers? For me, it's all about nature and art. I wanna get excited about that. What are we going to do? I know a lot of people are like, man, I wish I would start reading again, or I wish I could take up painting, or I think there's so much like magic and power in like getting excited about some kind of old school, as the kids would say, go touch some grass. Let's get excited about that. Anyway, that's where I'm kind of at with all this. I want to spend some time today listening to some of your recorded messages from a couple weeks ago. So that's what we're about to do. Before I dive into that, I just want to make a quick mention that my shows are starting to ramp up, and I'm just struggling getting the message out on some of these, especially the ones that are coming up really soon. I've just kind of gotten rolling again, and I think a lot of people don't know that I'm back out there doing shows, and it's a funny show. Like, I wish I had not made the misstep of like guiding people to think, now Kevin doesn't do funny. My show is funny. And a lot of the promotion has said the show is revolved around my book. It is. It's funny stories. I think some people have gotten the impression that it's like some like promotional book reading that you would see for free at the bookstore, and it is not that. It is hilarious stories. It's a full, thought out, like one-man show kind of evening. You're going to have a great time. It's not a drag. I think I've led somebody to believe it's like Kevin's serious and he's just trying to sell you his book. I'm coming from a place of real sincerity and excitement. I want you to have a great night at my show, and you will. Anyway, coming up is Phoenix, Birmingham, Alabama, Philadelphia, here in Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Austin. Those are the ones coming right up in the next 4 or 5 weeks. If you live in those places, it's brand new material. You'll have an incredible, fun night full of laughter. Yeah. Here we go. All right, if you don't remember, a couple weeks back, I asked people to leave a recorded message about if we were going to the mall, like what, give us sort of a fun, nostalgic, like where would we go? What would you order at the food court sort of thing? So let's see. I've not listened to any of these, so let's see what people said. Here we go.
Okay, so 2 quick things. I pre-ordered your audiobook. Yay! And 2, I love this format. So if we're going to the mall and we are, it's a pretzel, right? It's a cinnamon pretzel. And if you don't like a cinnamon pretzel, you're a Philistine. And that's that.
You know, I got caught up in the 90s with the whole how crazy we were about diets and stuff. So I started like really restricting myself from carbs. I was a big Atkins diet guy in the 90s. And so I got in the habit. Do you remember like don't put croutons on your salad? So I really always restricted myself from the big cinnamon anti-Cinnabon. And what was the other place called? Anti-something? Auntie? I don't remember. I've never really been into that stuff. And now I am on the brink of diabetes. So those are things I'll never know about.
My favorite food court food wasn't actually me ever buying the food. It was going and getting the samples of the
chicken on a steak
from whatever Chinese restaurant had somebody out there giving samples.
Yes.
And my friends and I would just periodically keep walking by to keep getting that amazing bourbon sample.
The chicken, yes. That was good. Same. I couldn't have the sugary cinnamon thing in the 90s, but I could have the chicken on a stick. That does go with your Atkins diet, I think.
Oh, Kevin, I am all about the Cinnabon. I've always been all about the Cinnabon.
I'm glad that
the
you,
sugar high.
I'm glad that you guys were not in bondage like I was in the 90s.
Annie Ann's was definitely the best food at the mall. Those pretzels, the cinnamon twists are amazing.
My favorite food court delicacy is bourbon chicken with all the MSG.
All right.
And I also miss
I see there's a thing developing here. Are we team Cinnabon or are we team chicken on a stick?
So, I grew up a kid of the 80s, and my grandmother would take me to the mall and the food court, and I think my most memorable meal would be not even a meal. She would get a snack for us, and it would be an orange Julius and then these weird, like, sesame sticks.
Orange Julius. Okay. I think we're going to have 3 categories to vote in, probably. That's orange. I forgot about Orange Julius.
So, Kevin, I made a video, and it was like, I'm even doing it now. I made a video for my friend who loves your videos, and I made it in the style of your videos because I was talking about my life and fear of Christianity in the 80s. And I edited it, and I fixed it up, and it looked nice. It was a cheap version of what you do. And I sent it to her on YouTube, and she hasn't watched it yet. We'll see if she likes it. But my inner monologue won't stop sound like robot in my head, and I won't stop singing, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm wondering if that happens to you too.
It used to. You guys, some of you know where I'm at with this.
Hi, my favorite food court delicacy used to be a hot dog on a stick because they had the best lemonade and all different flavors. And do you remember the workers had to wear the most embarrassing costumes imaginable? Like they looked like striped Barbies who were on the beach but trapped in the mall.
At no point did I know where that message was going. I don't remember hot dog on a stick, but you went for the lemonade. And they were Barbies on the beach? I don't know what was happening.
If we're going in a time machine back to the mall in the 90s when I was growing up, our first stop is going to be to the food court for some really terrible American Chinese food, the kind where the fried rice is dried out and a little crunchy, and
chicken on a stick.
The sweet and sour chicken is mostly sweet, and it's almost just chicken nuggets in sweet sauce, but it brings back a ton of nostalgia and fun memories. When we went school shopping and I was growing up, that was always the thing that I wanted to do first, right? I didn't care about the clothes. I just wanted the really bad American Chinese food. As an adult, I would say let's go to Bath and Body Works because I love their candles and probably need some kind of candle for whatever season it is.
Are you guys like this sometimes? I do like Bath and Body Works, but sometimes that super perfumey thing gives me a little bit of a headache. My mom is like that too. Like there's certain kind of fragrances that I'm like, I have to get out of here.
I just loved having an orange Julius and a cinnamon bun from Cinnabon. They were the best.
Okay, guys, there's a whole bunch of these, so sorry if I didn't get to yours. There's probably more than I could realistically listen to for the Secret Sunday show. And if you haven't figured out, I'm sort of just experimenting and poking around on... I really do want to do some kind of weekly, I hate to use the word for some of you, but podcast. But don't be scared of that word. Podcast just means like old school radio show or old school like public access show. That's all it is. You just press play. Even if whatever it becomes in the future, you'll always just press play, and there it is. I'll always make it easy. But I'm sort of poking around like, what is the show about? Is it just straight up fun and nostalgia? Maybe. Is it about, my whole sort of concept for my studio is to inspire people to take up an old-fashioned hobby. Because I think in the era that we're entering of everything is just fast and disposable and computerized, holding on to the human part is going to be what matters the most. So I'm all about inspiring people to find what it is for you and to go all in. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See you next time. Bye.